This movie will go deeper into the phenomenon of nation branding in public spheres. This process started around 1815 with the buildings of statues of natural and region heroes like Erasmus or Jeanne d'Arc. In the public spheres of cities, the collective memory of the city and later the state was preserved. Before we will look into the different methods of this branding, we first have to define what branding actually means. Branding, the process involved in creating a unique name and image for a product in consumers' mind, mainly through advertising campaigns with a consistent theme. Branding aims to establish a significant and differentiated presence in a market that attracts and retains loyal customers. This is a business definition of branding, but it does apply to the contemporary branding of nations. Firstly, we can swap consumers with civilians. Secondly, advertising campaigns can actually stay the same, but should be understood with a broad view. Nations, regions, and cities also campaign like corporates. A good example of this is the campaign of I Amsterdam, but nations also use different forms of campaigning like street names, maps, statues, and national sports teams. As last, the market should be seen not as the market of goods, but the market between nations like tourism, attracting businesses, expats, scholars, or the loyalty of their civilians. The market is thus not only between nations, but also between the nations and the region, like the Catalonia and Spain. Next will follow two fragments of a seminar given by Wally Ollins. He was a consultant and a proclaimer of the nation as a brand. He helped some cities and nations with their branding like London and Poland. In these fragments, he will explain the term branding and the idea of the market of nations.
If an organization, whether it's a company or a nation, wants somehow or other to actually project an idea of what it really and truly is and what it really and truly does to the world at large, then it must understand that it's got to be more coherent and more focused than simply leaving it to chance to help. It's really got all these other problems that I talked of in terms of the competition between itself and the other nations. It's also got the issue that it is looking at regionalism from below, and in Europe it is looking for the European Union.
Thus, nation branding can be seen with the same perspective as corporate branding. Still, in our contemporary society, there are ways of branding in public spaces. This is done on national, regional and supranational levels. On national level, the contemporary branding is done with new advertisements or restoring of old heritage. At the main square of Berlin, an old castle has been demolished during the regime of Hitler. Now the government is rebuilding this old castle to prove that Berlin does have an ancient history, more than just the Second World War and the DDR. This project costs around 570 million euros. Another example of the contemporary branding in public sphere is the program Van Gogh 2015. In 2015, it is 125 years ago that Van Gogh passed away. Therefore, in 2015, there were special exhibitions, expositions, and events around the life, work, and death of Van Gogh. This program is not only in the Netherlands, but also in Belgium, France, and England. This program is interesting because it cuts into different problematics of this theme. First of all, the program is set up on European scale. Van Gogh was born in the Brabant, the Netherlands, but traveled through landscapes and died in northern France. His heritage is therefore not solely Dutch or Brabant, but this program suggests it's European. Even when the setup of the program is European, Brabant has used this program to promote the region. They use the heritage of Van Gogh to attract more tourists to the region. They do this with various programs in the different cities and villages where he has lived and worked. To make the program complete, tourists can make various bicycle tours through the cities and villages. Joris Holthuis, a journalist from the Groene Amsterdammer, has made one of the bicycle tours. In his article on his tour, he points out that the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam and the Kröller Museum do not focus on the background of Van Gogh. They also attract the most tourists, which of course is a bit painful for Brabant. Now, Van Gogh has one of the main pillars in their bid book to become cultural capital in 2018.
It's just like we're laying on a starry night.
This fragment was the advertising of a new bicycle path nearby Eindhoven. It symbolizes a painting of Van Gogh, the Sterrennacht. The bicycles should feel like it is bicycling in the painting. By using the heritage of Van Gogh, the region has been promoting itself. The conflict of this branding is that the heritage of Van Gogh is not solely Brabant or even Dutch, but can also be seen as European heritage. Therefore, the concurrence on the market has gone up and the branding has become much more complicated. We have seen that in the contemporary branding, old methods are used, like using regional and national heroes and the restoring of building as heritage. We have also seen that contemporary branding functions on three levels: national, regional, and subnational. This complicates the branding for all three levels. In this case, are the regional and European aspects overshadowed with the national aspect. But in the other cases, the regional or European branding is stronger, which puts the national branding in a hard position. This all has its influences on identity and memory of the people, which maybe also becomes more and more complicated.